Test, 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 test. I think you guys got my here. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test. Test, test, test. Well, apologies. Apologies for the lack of audio there to start the game. I got to catch up on everything that's going on here. So Northfield actually leads 6-5. Gosh, I had to switch. I burned my audio mixer, completely burned out. So I had to switch. Luckily, I have a backup. Then the program has to recognize it. And so I do apologize for that. For those of you just joining us, though, just over 24 hours ago, Athletic Director Kurt Hughes reached out to me asking, gosh, do you want to broadcast the section championship volleyball match at 2 p.m. on Saturday? I told him, I have two questions for you, Kurt. I told him, number one, are the Stewartville Tigers playing? You see it here. Yes. Number two, do I have a pulse? Also, yes. So we're getting this thing started. We're already rolling pretty good as Northfield leads 8-0. We are live from the Mayo Civic Center Arena in downtown Rochester, Minnesota for today's Section 1 Class 3A volleyball championship match, and this one's going to be a bar burner. You already see it now. We have the number 1 seed taking on the number 2 seed. We have the Hiawatha Valley League champion battling the Big 9 conference champions. It's the greatest show on hardwood. My squad, the number 4 state-ranked Stewartville Tigers, and they are matched up with the Northfield Raiders. Anyway, I'm Adam Peterson, and I'll be bringing you all the action here today here on Stewartville Activities on the YouTube channel. I apologize again for all the technical difficulties. Thanks for all of you that are tuning in, sticking by me as I try to get this all squared away. I knew it was going to be a bad omen because when I started this broadcast, the batteries in my mouse ran out, and that made me real nervous. As Northfield gets the kill, I'll try to start getting into my rhythm here for you all. I appreciate everybody sending me texts letting me know that the audio wasn't working. We did happen to see it, so I didn't know what the fix was other than I burned out the audio box. Dig there by Hebel. Claire Thiebel goes outside to Nagel. Nagel tries to tip it over, and that's going to be a point for the Raiders as they lead 10-6. Serving is Sydney Kester. She's a 5'11" freshman. As you heard, Northfield got through Albert Lee and Casamanville to make this championship match, and they have started off hot. That one's going to go out of bounds, and Stewartville now is chasing 3. As you see, the Theobald sisters will take a seat. Langsteth and Klar will be coming on. Dream Petershon, Spencer Nagel, Regan Middlestat, and Leah Hebel are the others on the court for the Tigers. For the Raiders, number 3, Edith Larson, the 5'8" junior, is their setter. She touches the ball every time over the court. Amber Mahal, a 6'1" senior on that far side. Number 1, Navia Pennock. She's also a setter. She's going to handle this one, and she's going to go back to Mahal. Leah takes care of that. Langseth goes to Dream. Petershon swings, but good dig there by Northfield. They're going outside. And Clark keeps it alive, and Middlestat is able to drive it over. Oh, the 6'1" Mahal just sends it straight down, and Northfield's up 11-7. Kate Potter, number 16, is heels on the back line. 7, Tegan Maddow. She's also out there for the Raiders. Stephanie Mergens is the libero. She will be serving straight away here. Nagel, Langseth, middle. Petershon tips it to the middle. Raiders do a good job of keeping that up. And now Edith Larson's going to take a swing. Middlestat digs that outside to Nagel. Goes to the far corner. Potter. And they go short. Here's Klar to Langseth. Backset to the middle, but good block. Middlestat comes outside to Klar. Klar, swing! Mergens is able to dig that. They're saying Northfield was under the net. And so the Tigers get the point, 11-8. Historically, we call our team a bunch of snoozers, meaning Have you ever woke up with your alarm clock and you keep hitting the snooze, keep hitting the snooze? It takes a while for these Lady Tigers to wake up, it seems like. We saw it at the Chaska tournament. We're seeing it here today. Hopefully they can find their rhythm. Now that the broadcast is going, I feel that's the extra energy that they need. Husenfeld's going to put a swing on that one. Potter keeps it alive. Mergens takes it all the way over. Oh, it comes on our side as Dua is able to use that left hand, but she snuck under the net again, and that's another fortuitous call for the Tigers. Back to serve, Spencer Nagel. Nagel had 4 aces against the Bears in the semifinal match. Mergens. There's Dua off the tip. And it's going to be 12-9 Northfield. Keep me updated if anything drops on the stream. We're using a little bit subpar audio mixer. So hopefully it's coming through your sound set as nicely as it used to in the past, but good thing I carry this backup. And that one goes out. Another point for the Raiders. 13-9. Northfield has those tall front row players out there. Tegan Maddow, 5'11". You talk about Dua, she's 5'10". Oh, good save there by Nagel. Langseth goes outside to Husenfeld. Husenfeld tries to drive through the block and never gets over the net. And Northfield takes a 5-point lead. I've seen the Tigers in this position a couple times. Not often as they're 25-4 on the season. Not often, but they have been able to respond. Langseth goes middle to Petershon. Blocked. There's Middlestat. Back row attack by Nagel. She just tries to spin that over. A quick set, and that goes right through the hands of our libero, Middlestat, and Northfield leads by 6. Sammy Peterson takes a timeout. Takes a timeout here as Northfield is up 6 early going to set number 1. It is a 5-set match, as you know. I'm going to step aside, do a double check on all the equipment here. And hopefully I'll be back in just a minute. We'll get instant replay running here soon as well. Thanks for sticking by me through all the difficulties. We'll get it figured out. We're back after that timeout. Hopefully, Coach Sammy Peterson had some nice words of wisdom here. November 1st, 2025. And Northfield leads at 15-9. Stewartville's got to get some runs here. There's Clark. That one was touched. And that's a point for the Tigers, kills and Ks. As Sydney Clark steps up, you're going to see a lot of energy coming out of number 11 and number 1. CTE, Claire Theobald energy. Sydney Clark, a lot of times driving that energy. Obviously, the bench pretty electric in their own right. Some great celebrations from them. I should really turn the camera so you can see them at times. Middlestat is going to be serving. Middlestat leads our team in aces. 39 of those, has a 95% serve percentage. She goes deep to the back row. Larson's going to pop that one up. Big swing. And that one goes through the block as Pennock gets the kill. A little switch. Millie Larson is going to be serving. Also coming into the game, Sydney Kester. Taking a seat was Dua and Potter for the Raiders. Having a little issue with the clock. You hear it going off. It happened right as the swing was taking place, but good job by Pennock to keep her focus. I talk about coming back. Stewartville was down 2-1 in that September 4th matchup against the Byron Bears. A really talented team, and they somehow came back to win in 5 sets. They'll need to pull some of that as well. Reagan Middlestat slides all the way under the post. It's now 17-10. Hit the button twice. Millie Larson still serving. Millie and Edith Larson, a freshman and junior. Daughters to Elizabeth Larson, the head coach for Northfield. Nagel to Langseth. Just dumps it over to the middle, but Mergens easily cleans that up, and they're going to do a quick swing, and that one was by Maddow. Not going well here in the early goings for the Tigers, 18-10 Northfield. Middlestat to Langseth. Langseth backs that to Clark. Clark hammers it! That's what we need! We need that hammer. Put it down, get the point. Clar energizes this crowd, and now the monster known as Ella Theobald is going to step on the court. If you start feeding her, a lot of things can go the Tigers' way, but we need a strong back row. That was one of the most impressive things we did against the big Byron hitters, including the all-star Cadence Firstad, was the ability to dig huge hits. And we got to be able to do that to keep it clean. Big block there, and now we get our essentially free ball. Theobald comes back to Theobald through the block, but what a save! Oh my gosh, Middlestat, but she crosses the center line. I'll tell you, Northfield, I watched both of their first two games, the Albert Lee game and the Cassie Manderville game. They are doing a much better job of blocking. Before, they were letting their arms drift back and a lot of hits going through the block. Today, they are getting over the top, and that's coming straight back on our side. Theobald goes outside to big sister Ella. She drives it to the middle, and that's going to be a point for Stewartville. And they need every single one of them because Northfield's just chasing 6 points to end this first set. If you're just joining us, Stewartville Activities here on YouTube, carrying this Stewartville Tiger Northfield Raiders Section 1 3A Championship game. I'm Adam Peterson. I'll be bringing you all the action for as long as it lasts. Hebel with the serve. Larson outside. That one goes long, but we touched it again. 2012. As Stewartville is shell-shocked right now. That's Pennock serving. We're just going to have to take this one over and hope that we can live to play another point. Pennock drills that one, and she got on top of that. That was Sydney Kester. Kester, 15 kills against Cassie Manderville, so we know she can swing. 21-12 Raiders as they continue to extend their lead. Hebel. Off the arm. That one goes out of bounds, 22-12, and Coach Peterson's going to take his second and final timeout of set number one. I talked about the Byron game being the best I've ever seen Stewartville look. I would say that this is the least ready I've ever seen the Tigers go out there and compete. So we'll hopefully turn this around on the timeout. And we're going to need to find something. Even if you don't take set one, I think if you can get some momentum building back in your way so that when the scoreboard reads zeros in set number two, that we can start to make our run. I'm going to step away for a few seconds. We'll be right back here on Stewartville Activities. This is Stewartville Volleyball. Stewartville chasing 10 here. 22-12 as Northfield has completely dominated this first set. That's Navia Pennock still serving. Middlestat goes to Claire Theobald, goes outside to Nagel. Nagel rips that one. That's what I'm talking about. Build some momentum. Build a little bit of momentum. Maybe you don't get the set number one, but build it for the match. This isn't just a battle. This is a war. We got to go 4 to 5 sets probably to beat this Raider team. Matilda Doobie back to serve. Mergens takes care of that one. Pennock goes back set. I don't think they're going to be able to do anything with that, and they can't. Kester just was either going to run into the net or not get it over. It was the latter. 22-14 Stewartville. Northfield. Stewartville serving. Pennock, quick dump, but there's Leah Hebel. Clara Theobald out to Nagel. Nagel throws it, goes off the antenna. So that's a point for the Raiders. 23-14 now. Doobie sits down. Middlestat back in as our libero. I believe this is Potter serving. No, I'm sorry, that was Kester. Theobald goes back to Ella. Ella hits Kester, but Dua is able to bring it back. Hebel, Theobald, outside to Nagel. Tries to go through the blocker, but they get the double block. And Northfield is now sitting at set point. And not just a set point, a dominant set number one, to say the least. Sydney Kester, the 5'11 freshman, serving. Good serve, just dumps over the net. Hebel pops it up to Nagel. Nagel takes a swing. It goes through the block, but Mahal is able to keep it alive. Duo with the swing. Middlestat. Theobald outside to Nagel. See, like I said, Northfield's blocks much better today than they were on Wednesday. Back set to Ella Theobald. Pennock over to Dua. Theobald back set to Ella again. A lot of touches on that front blocking. They just keep it inside the antenna. Something happened. No, they called a double hit because it started spinning and it was over the net. As you know, Minnesota State High School rules changed this year. You don't get called on that the two touch when the ball is spinning rotation if it stays on your side of the court. But if it goes over the net like that one just did, it does get called as a double hit. Langseth and Clark come back in. Stewartville chasing 9. They go outside to Dua, and she hammers the ball. And Northfield's going to take the first set and prove they belong here in the section championship. 25-15 is the final score in set number 1. I'll step aside. In 2.5 minutes, we'll bring you back for second set action here at the Mayo Civic Center. I'm Adam Peterson. Stay tuned. We're back for set number 2. We'll see if the Tigers can somehow find a rhythm, get into it. Thanks for everybody sticking by me with the technical difficulties. I don't know if you heard, but our audio mixer fried during the pregame show. I had to stop the stream, reset. I had to get my backup kind of junky, I hate to call it that because it's doing the job, but junky audio mixer, just a 2-channel mixer. Load that onto the stream, the broadcast, had to re-input it because the computer didn't recognize it. It was quite a task, let me say the least. So I do apologize for those first 7 or 8 points. I'll take the heat on set number 1. I didn't have my hat on. I didn't have the broadcast going. Totally my bad on that one. So I do feel terrible. Hopefully the Tigers can bail me out on this one in set number 2, come back and even this thing up. Northfield won the first set, 25-15. Middlestat will start us off serving. Pennock goes outside. They get a touch on that. Langseth goes outside to Husenfeld. Husenfeld, good dig there by Potter. Mergens comes back to Dua. Doobie pops it up. Here's Langseth just taking it over right in the middle. Pennock goes middle. Dua, I think it was, that swung on that one. And you see either Dua or Maddow. I couldn't see from where I'm sitting here in the nosebleeds. Either way, 1-0 Northfield. I usually stand during football games. I don't know why I don't for volleyball games. Clar gets the kill, evens it up at 1. And now come the Theobald sisters, and this is where we can really make our stride with Ella Theobald in the front row, Claire Theobald with that CTE, I call it the Claire Theobald energy, getting things moving. We'll see if we can ride our best player, number 2, Ella Theobald, for a little while here. Claire, good serve by her. Dua from the right side. Good dig there by Nagel. Here comes Clara. Back set to Ella. Hammer time! Hammer time! Now that's the Stewartville we're hoping to see. You feed it to your big dog, Ella Theobald. I was talking ride her as long as you can. You see her absolutely drop the bomb there. 2-1 Stewartville. They're going middle. They get a touch on it, setters out. Doobie's coming to Theobald. She goes far corner. That one's off of Potter's hands. Now we're getting it moving. Now we're getting it moving, girls. 3-1 Stewartville. This is what we need. Just get a little confidence. Get that snowball rolling. It's all about momentum. They've been in this situation before. They've dropped a set number 1. It's all about how you respond. Larson comes outside. That's Pennock with the kill down the line, 3-2 Stewartville. Coming into the game, Millie Larson, as well as number 5, Sydney Kester, both freshmen. Libero out there, you see Stephanie Mergens, 5'6" sophomore. So even, for as talented as this Northfield team is, also young. Middlestat to Clara. Clara goes outside to big sister Ella from the 10-foot line, drives it through the blocker. But Larson to middle. Ooh, good dig by Clara. Now Middlestat, where's she going? Sylvia's going to have to do this from the back. It was coming from behind her. Oh, that's a throw. That's a carry. You betcha. You betcha. Stewartville 4-2. Leah Hebel checks in. Husenfeld is going to take a seat. Hebel. They're going to go outside. Kester with the big swing. Hebel digs it. Here's Claire Theobald. Goes to Spencer Nagel. Nagel puts a little finesse on it. That might be coming up. Matilda Doby! She absolutely rocked that one! She rocked it! The surgeon says, don't bring that in my house. 5-2 Tigers. What a kill. That's what we needed. The crowd starting to get into it. Good dig by Clara. Here comes Middlestat. Big hitter Ella Theobald just got too much on top of it. 5-3 Tigers. Got another substitution coming off. Maddow. Coming on, Delphine Hawkins, 5'8" senior defensive specialist, also a captain for the team, I believe. Middle stat to Clara Theobald. Theobald goes middle to Doobie. Doobie drops one! Boy, is Doobie finding her stride here in set number 2. Now she's going back to serve. 6-3 Tigers. Northfield's just going to have to take this one over. They dump it middle. There's Theobald to Theobald, outside to Nagel. Nagel gets one now! Starting to spread the love! Starting to spread the love here in the front row. And you see Dream Peterson out there. This girl is like 10 for 14 in the playoffs on her swings for kills. It's incredible. Very efficient middle hitter there. We had Doobie. She's back there serving. Now we got Peterson in the front. Watch for her to make an impact. They're going right over, and Leah Hebel read that like a book. Claire goes back set to big sister. Ella puts it right where it needs to be. Now it's 8-3. This is the Tigers we know and love. And that's a timeout. That's a timeout. I would stop for a drink if the security guards out front didn't make me empty my water bottle. Boy, the coach is hot on the refs. I didn't see anything happen. Oh, no timeout. They're saying no timeout. They get a free one, I guess. That's probably why the coach was upset. And that one's short, so this fake timeout, and the coach is celebrating. Pull that stunt, and then we're going to celebrate. Don't appreciate that. I'm not a big fan of people celebrating when somebody else messes up. It's one thing if your team drops a huge kill. And Stewartville's going to get that point back. 9-4 now, Tigers. 9-4. And Theobald sisters are going to take a seat. Clar and Clar and Langseth coming on. Langseth puts that over. Mergen's off the side of her. Larson over to the outside. Out. Good eye there by Hebel. Now 10-4 Stewartville. I think you saw that several times in set number 1 where it was going to be long, and for whatever reason, our back row was like throwing their hands up, getting a little touch. Now they're letting it go. They're starting to get back to the volleyball we know. Larson's going to tap that one over. Nagel, Langseth, where's she going? She's going back to Clar. Clar tips it over the middle. Mergens is able to cover that. Pennock comes outside to Kester. What a dig by Middlestat! Langseth puts it up. Nagel drives it through. And it's a fight at the net, and Stewartville wins the fight! Stewartville wins it! 11-4 now. Langseth getting the call from Coach Becca. Puts that one over, and it's just long and outside as Northfield's going to take that one. Very uncharacteristic as Abby Langseth leads our team in serve percentage at 96. I think last year, Kaylee Lehrman was one of our leaders, really high in that category. Want to give her a shout out, obviously, or she texted me earlier this week, appreciated getting an opportunity to watch the girls play. So it's always great to have alumni being able to see, the program that was kind of built on their shoulders and passed along. Hopefully the Tigers can make them proud. We're at 11-6 right now after a couple points that didn't go our way. Kester is back to serve. She's been the hot hand for Northfield, Kester has. Here's the jump serve. That one's long, too. The hand was so hot, it put it all the way out of bounds. Hebel's going to take a seat, and Sylvia Husenfeld is going to come on. Speaking of shout-outs, want to give Sylvia's family in Nebraska a shout-out. They got me a Nebraska shirt. I think it says, I like Nebraska volleyball before it was cool. So thank you to them for the gift. Always appreciate gifts. Get a touch. Peterson went to block it just off her hands. Now 12-7 Tigers. Mahal's going to take a seat. On comes Tegan Maddow, 5'11 senior. Middle stat, Langseth. Here comes Clar, pushes it over. This should be an easy one for Mergens. It is. Pennock comes outside to Dua, off of Langseth's hands, and another point Northfield's way, now 12-8. This is a different Northfield team than we saw the first two rounds, I'll tell you that much, because I watched both of those matches, and they have come to play here at the Civic Center. Big 9 champion, 11-0 in conference. Middlestat to Langseth. Langseth goes outside to Husenfeld. Good dig back row by Potter. Pennock comes over to Dua. That never made it over the net. Yeah, just ran the tape. Ran the tape and stayed on their side. 13-8. Dream Petershon's going to take a seat. It's like a libero middle hitter switch. Dream takes a seat. Matilda comes on, and then Reagan Middlestat rotates to the back row to get her serving in. The lefty will step up. She was double checking that she was off rhythm. She went to take a step and hit it. Then she checked with the referee that she was able to. Would have been nice if she just reset, but she didn't. Stewartville up 4. Langseth back to Clar. Clar gets a hold of that, but good block. A tip, plenty of air. Langseth, where's she going to go? She's going to go middle to Doobie. Doobie gets it done. Doobie's done a good job of knowing when to hammer and when to lay off and find the right spot. She's been outstanding for us here in the second set as Stewartville leads by 5. Claire Theobald back to serve. Amy's going to tell her to get her elbow back. Ooh, that one's coming tight. Doobie gets another birthday ball. 15-9 Tigers. That's big for the Tigers to capitalize on those. Clara now goes deep middle. Potter. It's going to be tough to set this one up. Dua. Good swing by her. Clara out. Middlestat pops it up. This is Husenfeld from the 10-foot line. She tries to go down the line just out of bounds. And now both teams in double digits. Dua and Potter will take a seat as Larson and Kester will return for the Raiders. Middlestat. Claire's going to have to sidestep. She goes outside to Ella Theobald. Ella gets on top of that one! Boy, Clara saw her big sister over there, and her eyes got big as she put that one on a tee, and Ella did the rest. And now Hebel goes back, trying to provide a little Hebel hammer action. Mergens is able to pop that one up, comes outside to Kester. Kester, oh, nice pancake! Now Nagel. No way! $16-11. What an effort there by Clara Theobald to get that ball up in the air. Leah sits down on that one. Clara Theobald goes back set. Ooh, Ella's able to swing that one over at an angle, kind of a funny spot. Good touch. Clara's out. Here comes Middlestat. She's going outside to Ella Theobald. And now we're going back. It's going to be Doobie. Doobie just drives it over, does what she can. So it's going to be tight. Kester takes a swing, and they're under the net. And Stewartville, I guess if you didn't get the point on the pancake call, it all worked out. The ball never lies. 17-11 Stewartville. Set number 2, Stewartville trying to even this match up. Doobie puts it right in the middle of the court. Larson to Larson. Goes back to Pennock. Oh! Dream! Denies the Raiders a point! That's a huge block by 5. I think I caught it. That was awesome. Dream slaps the floor, both hands. Nobody's played better in these playoffs than one Dream Petershon there in the middle. She comes up with a huge block. at a huge time, 18-11 Stewartville. You talk about our middles, Matilda and Dream right now are carrying the Tigers in set number 2. Ella Theobald has had a few hammers, but the back row, they're starting to get those digs that we saw against Byron's hitters. They're starting to get a feel for the game. I know that with basketball, I haven't talked to the volleyball girls. I know with basketball, playing in the arena with such wide walls and such space, that sometimes the depth perception is a little bit tough to deal with. I know some people have said that the court is a little bit slippery compared to what we're used to. Not making any excuses, but hopefully we find that rhythm. We get comfortable out there in the Mayo Civic Center arena floor, and we can keep it moving. How you doing? Keep it moving. Matilda Doobie back to serve. Tigers up 7. Oh, Larson at the last second. She got handcuffed. She didn't know whether to set that one or bump it. By the time she figured it out, it popped over to the first row in section 190, and Stewartville leads by 8. Larson. Kester has to just save that from going into the team bench. Here comes Theobald. Back set. Quick set to Ella. Good job by Larson popping that up. Mergens is going to take that over. Theobald to Clara. Dre Peterson swinging away. It's a fight at the net. And another win for the Tigers. Every point matters, everybody. Every point matters in these games. It's win or go home time. 2011 Stewartville. Doobie. Mergens. Larson has to save it. Oh, good dig there by Hebel. Claire goes outside to Nagel. They're still alive. No, she stayed out. I think she got close with her upper body. I was looking at the feet. Either way, Tigers lead by 8, 20-12, and now Pennock goes back to serve. Navia Pennock, the 5'8 junior. She plays everywhere on the court. Middlestat pops that one over. Oh my gosh, it's like a kill from a bump. From a serve receive, we'll take it. 21-12. Theobald's came in, gave us that spark, and now Clara and Langstaff come on to try to finish it out. They're coming outside to Kester. Boy, oh, what a save by Leah. Can Middlestat bring it back? She does. Our back row was fantastic right there. Here comes Pennock outside to Kester again. Oh my gosh, did she blister that one? She got it all. Sydney Kester, as good as advertised, and just a freshman, 5'11", and swings for the fences. There's the floater, Middlestat. Langstaff has to go all the way back to, oh, this is going to be tough to even keep out on the net. Yeah. Drove her into the net, and that's a couple straight for the Raiders, 21-14. Back row, Hebel, Middlestat, Nagel. That one's long, as Stewartville will take the point. Anyway, we can get it right now. Husenfeld coming on. Hebel coming off the court. Hebel, a sophomore, first full year on varsity, and she's been a stellar addition to our back row. Spencer Nagel, the sophomore, another sophomore. We have 3 sophomores on the full-time roster. That one's out. And now Stewartville's closing in, 23-14. So you got Spencer Nagel, you got Leah Hebel, and you got Brooklyn Peterson. And then they brought up Cora Johnson and Bristol Schmidt. We have 3 freshmen on the team, Clara Theobald, Quinn Krause, and Sylvia Husenfeld, 5 seniors. And then our juniors would be Claire Bunny, Ella Minnick, and Olivia Hamilton. I think that hits everybody on the roster. I didn't even print off a roster because usually I know the team so well. But Stewartville up 23-14. We'll step aside for just a second. We'll be right back as the Tigers try to even this match up at 1. Nagel will be serving, 23-14. Puts that one over. Mergen's able to handle it. Pennock comes outside to Dua. She tries to go deep. Langseth, middle. Petershon throws it to the far corner. Eagle eye dream. Saw it was open, and now it's set point for the Tigers. What a job by Petershon. Saw that opening and took advantage. And now Nagel serving set point. Mergens, Pennock out to Dua. That one goes through the blocker, and the Raiders are still alive. Stephanie Mergens, the sophomore libero, back to serve. Middle stat to Langseth. Langseth goes back to Clark. Clark tips it over in the middle. Mergens keeps it alive. Pennock gets it to Dua. Middle stat, Langseth. Petershon throws it more middle than corner that time. Here comes Dua with the swing. Spencer at least keeps it alive. Goes outside to Husenfeld. Right to the middle. Potter's able to handle that. A quick set. Good job by Spencer to keep that alive. That one's tight to the net. Clark just dumps it over. Mergens, that's too close. Goes back on Northfield side. You want to know what kind of character? How you're going to step up when you drop set number 1? You come back and win by 10 in set number 2. 25-15, the same exact score as set number 1, but it went in favor of Stewartville, and it just became a 3-set match. What a time to be alive. We're going to step away. Set number 3 coming up shortly. We are back for set number 3 here. Stewartville ties it up 1 set apiece, and now it's a race for 2 out of 3. Race for 2 out of 3. On the court right now, we have in the back row Husenfeld, Middlestat, Nagel. In the front row, we have Clark, Dream Petershon, and Abby Langseth. Speaking of Abby Langseth, want to give a shout out to her aunt, Rachel Nassif, down in Urbandale, watching. Got to give you a big shout out, big thanks for all you've contributed to this program. A 3-year varsity player for Stewartville Volleyball. As there's Langseth goes back to Clark. They get a block on it. Langseth pops it up. Middle stack goes to Husenfeld. She tries to drive it over, but it doesn't get the job done. Always happy to give family a shout out that have been with us all year long, supporting the broadcast, supporting these ladies, really, is what this broadcast is all about. So happy to do it. Also want to give Roger Langseth, speaking of the Langseth, no better bus driver in Tiger Nation. As Dave Peterson drills one into the floor. But Roger Langseth, best Tiger Nation bus driver out there. I mean, the guy does everything for us. Let us show up early to decorate the girls' bus this morning. What a guy. Couldn't have a better person making sure that the safety of our girls is at the forefront. So do want to give Roger and all the bus drivers out there that take care of our kids a big thank you. That one's thrown over, and it's going to be a point, Stewartville. We saw it look like Clayton Kershaw holding on to the ball that long. 2-1 Stewartville. Got to get out in front. That's how the Tigers play their best. Middlestat, Kester, they're coming outside to Pennock. Doobie gets a hand on it, but it comes through to our side, and it's tied up at 2. Into the game, Larson for Dua. And Millie Larson will go back to serve. Husenfeld to Langseth to Doobie! Kill Till! Just got the end of it. Apologize. Wasn't quick enough on the trigger. Either way, that's a point for the Tigers. 3-2 Stewartville. And now the Theobald sisters are back, and San Antonio gets to the edge of their seats. The old Morales family, if they're out there watching. No way she brought that inside the antenna. There's no way. Geometry says impossible. 4-2. Clara puts it to Mergens. Larson goes backside. That one goes off tip, but Theobald goes outside to Husenfeld. Larson to Larson, coming outside to Kester. Wow, can she hit the ball? You got to tip your hat to number 5, Sydney Kester. We faced 2 big hitters now. You had Cadence Firstad from Byron on Wednesday night. She was as good as advertised. Now Sydney Kester for Northfield. I believe that was Delphine Hawkins. What a save by Doobie to get that one in the air. And now they're a little bit out of rhythm. Larson tries to corral him up, and there's Kester. She hits that one long. And Hebel's going to come on. Husenfeld will take a seat, so our front row now consists of Spencer Nagel, Ella Theobald, and Matilda Doobie. Clara Theobald, Reagan Middlestat, and Leah Hebel will be in the back row. Mergens and Larson will take care of the serve-receive. Larson over to Pennock, coming outside to Kester. Kester dumps it over. Middlestat able to handle that. Clara goes back set to Ella. Ella, ooh, good dig. It's coming back. They're just going to take their time to set it up. Clara's going to have to go outside. Good job with the left hand by Nagel. Kester's going to swing on that one. Nagel just keeps it alive. Hebel back to Nagel. Far corner. That's in! That's in! You betcha! Absolutely! 6-3 Stewartville. Nagel put enough topspin on that thing to catch the wind that's coming from the ceiling fans. Drop it down right on the line as Hebel's going to serve again. What a serve by the hammer. And now we're going to set up. Clara's out. Middlestat coming out here. Ella Theobald drives it to the far corner, but Larson's out. Mergens over to Kester. Kester with a big swing. Good effort there by Leah as she slides about 15 feet. But Raiders get the point. Navia Pennock will be serving for the Raiders. We have enough range here with our camera. We can start getting the servers finally in Stewartville. The wall is too close, and we can only pan our camera out so far. There's Hebel. Ella's going far side to Nagel. Nagel's just going to dump that one over high. An easy one for Larson to settle under. Goes to Pennock, goes outside. Kester! She dreams about sets like that. Was salivating with the ball in the air. I can see why Kester had 15 kills against Cass in Manorville. As Northfield closes the gap and now just chasing one to tie it up. Hebel, Clara, outside to Nagel. Nagel off the blocker and enough to get the point for the Tigers. Here's that middle rotation. Petershaw on, Doobie back to serve. Middlestat will have to take a seat at least while Doobie takes her turn at the service line. 7-5 Tigers. Good dig there by Larson. She goes back. Good job. Good communication there by the Tigers. Kester got a little bit off balance, and that one sailed wide. As the Tigers extend their lead from 1 to 3, Doobie still serving. Ooh, a quick set. Hebel. Nagel throws it far corner, but Larson's there. Pennock over to the other Larson. Oh, big block. Was it out? They say it was out. Stewartville set up a massive block, but it just fell outside the line. I don't know what I did there. I added one to the wrong side. There we go, 8-6. All stats up here are unofficial. Nagel's going to take that one right over. Northfield does choose to play it. Mergen's going back row to Kester. Kester from anywhere. And now Kester to serve. I swear she just served. Nagel, Theobald, up to Nagel, drives it from the 10-foot line, goes off of Mahal. Mergen's out here to Dua. That one's on their side. Dream and Theobald put up the great wall of Stewartville. And now 9-7. Claire and Ella coming off. Abby Langseth and Clar on. We'll see what Aunt Rachel has taught Abby here at the service line. Maybe can do something fantastic. Get us a little ace. That'd be great. Mergens. Pennock goes outside to Dua. Dua gives it all. Big swing by Madeline Dua is her first name. 5'10 sophomore. Future is bright for the Raiders. You'll see them, I'm sure, at the Civic Center for the next several years. Nagel to Langseth. Goes middle to Petershaw, throws it to that far corner. Pennock's able to handle it. Here comes Dua. She tips it up and over. Langseth is out. Middlestat goes back to Nagel. Not enough that time. Not enough topspin. And we are back tied up at 9s. Wow, set number 3. You see the contrast. Set number 1, Northfield completely dominated. Set number 2, Stewartville dominated. And now it's a back and forth heavyweight fight. And point goes to Stewartville as they edge ahead by 1. Hebel sits down. Husenfeld on. Maddow, Pennock, and Dua in the front row for Northfield. Larson, Mergens, and Potter, I believe, are in the back row. Oh, big lift. Yeah, it was tough. It was coming off the net. 11-9. Pennock comes outside. Maddow gets stuffed, but good job by Mergens to be there. She's going to take another swing. That one's outside the antenna, though. That's happened a couple times today to Northfield, where that set drifts outside of that antenna, and it creates an improbable angle for their hitters. And maybe that's what they're trying to do, is get around the blocking of Stewartville. I don't know. Oh, an ace by Nagel! And are we? It's a timeout for sure now. Okay, it's a timeout for sure. 13-9 Stewartville. Set number 3. We'll step aside. We'll be right back. want to give a shout out to whoever the DJ is here today, playing some fantastic music. Fantastic. I like the pump up selections. Speaking of DJs, if he's out there listening, my former broadcast partner, Dan Simmons, want to give him a shout out. Nothing would be possible without Dan Simmons, I'll tell you. That's why we've named all of our booths the Dan Simmons broadcast booth. Little tip of the cap to the guy that started it all. The first one to start streaming live around a lot of parts in Minnesota. One of the first ever. Was able to figure it out, pass the baton on when he retired, and hopefully doing him justice as Husenfeld hits that one over. Dua, Middlestat, Langseth outside to Husenfeld. Gets one! That's Nebraska's favorite volleyball player. I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. They love her in Nebraska. The old Husker State. I don't know if that's what it's actually called. Is it called the Husker State? I'm not sure. I know what Stewartville's called. It's called Tiger Nation. As Middlestat's coming on to serve. 14-10 Tigers. Pennock over to Larson. Goes middle. Maddow, but here comes Husenfeld again. Drives it over, but it's outside the antenna. You saw the antenna shake. Stewartville leads by 3. Dua and Potter will take a seat. Larson and Kester come back on. Kester, the hot hand for the Raiders right now. Gotta know where number 5 is. Nagel to Langseth. Langseth goes middle to Doobie. Kester. Oh, good save there by Middlestat. Langseth puts it up to Husenfeld. Husenfeld tips it over. Did she get it? Enough of it. She did. Middlestat over to Husenfeld. And they're saying that one's out. 14-12. Doobie, Langseth, Klar in the front row. I think Husenfeld also qualifies as front row. She's just playing serve-receive now with Nagel and Middlestat. Husenfeld to Langseth, goes middle to Doobie. Doobie gets underneath that one. And it's a point for the Raiders, 14-13 Stewartville. And Coach Sammy Peterson for Stewartville is going to take a timeout. Kind of just settle the girls down, refocus. 14-13 Stewartville. This one's a nail-biter. The first two, like I said, one team got out in front and just carried that momentum all the way to the end. 25-15 Northfield in set number 1. 25-15 Stewartville in set number 2. And now it's 14-13 Tigers. Thanks to all you tuning in on YouTube. I'm Adam Peterson bringing you all the action for Stewartville Volleyball. Want to give a shout out to Kurt Hughes who got this set up. Obviously the tournament director, whoever's in charge, saving us a spot at the table. Also want to give a shout out to the NSPN crew right beforehand that was able to get me some tape to make sure my cords were secured on the floor as I have to cross the extension cord from the wall in through the walkway to my station. So I did want to give them a thank you. I didn't catch his name. I think it was Andy. He did the previous game, did a fantastic job. So do want to give them a thank you. As Larson's going to serve that one. Husenfeld gets it to Langseth. Langseth goes back to Klar. Oh my God, that was one of Klar's best hits! And she triple stopped that one! You can't triple stop a double stop. Something like that on Dumb and Dumber. Either way, Klar brought that. She needed it right before she stepped off the court. She absolutely drilled that one into the floor. Here comes Larson outside to Kester. Middlestat tries to get a hand on it, but Kester is bringing the heat today. Mergens, the libero, will take a seat, as will Maddow. Coming in, Delphine Hawkins, and I believe Mahal. Yes, she's there in the front row. Pennock, Mahal, and Kester in the front row. The two Larson sisters and Hawkins in the back. Middlestat to Clara. Clara goes outside to Ella from the outside! Just too much power, just drives it through the blockers. 16-14 Stewartville. And Hebel's on to serve. Husenfeld will take a seat. That one's tough to handle, but Kester's going to take a swing on it. Middlestat able to pop it up. Clara Theobald pops it over to Nagel. Nagel through the blockers, but saves it. Doobie's just going to take that one over. Mergens coming out here to Kester. Kester, uh-oh, are we going to be able to save this one? We cannot. And the Raiders close the gap to 1 again. It's like a seesaw, just back and forth, back and forth. Is that seesaw or teeter-totter? I'm trying to think of which one's on the playground where you jump off your legs and one goes one way and the other way. I think I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they call it something different in Wisconsin. Theobald pops it up to big sister Ella. They get a hand on it, but they aren't able to handle the dig. As it's now 17-15, and here's that middle rotation. Dream on, Matilda back, middle stat takes the seat. Doobie puts it to Larson. Pennock comes outside to the other Larson. She throws it. This should be handled. Clara backs it to Ella. Good dig there by Pennock. Coming over. No communication by the Tigers, and that one falls. An unforced error by Stewartville. We saw Doobie take advantage of a couple of those and drop it inside the 10-foot line. That time, I don't know what happened. Either way, Stewartville leads by 1. Kester back to serve. Hebel, middle stat, tries to get it over to Nagel. Nagel rolls that one over. Mergens makes something of it. Mahal, Dream pops it up. Oh, Clara takes a fast one. Oh, fastball to the corner. The old heater. Good job by the freshman Theobald. 18-16 now. Boy, that was a quick rotation. It seems like Clara and Langseth just went to the bench, and now they're already back on as Abby's going to be serving. Mergens, they're just going to have to bump this one over. Stewartville with the free ball. Hebel, Langseth, Dream. They had switched it up. Nagel was going middle. Here's Dua. What can Nagel do with this one? She's just going to bump it over to the middle of the court. Pennock goes outside to Dua. Blocked! Blocked! No soup for you! We've been having trouble keeping it in off the block. That time we do put it on their side of the court, and Stewartville now leads 19-16. Pennock goes back. That one's tight. Clar to Langseth. Where's she going? She's going back to Clar. Clark does a little change up, tips it over. Here comes Dua. Middle stat. Langseth outside to Nagel. Nagel rips it! And now we're at 20. 4-point lead for the Tigers, and you need a TO, baby! Coach Larson, you need a TO! Tigers are starting to find that rhythm. (2016), it was just 17-16, and Stewartville went on a little run there after the miscommunication at the front of the net. Boy, our back row, I'm telling you the difference. Bernie told me this after our last match. It's like drive for show, putt for dough in golf. Drive for show, the front row, they hammer the ball. But if you don't have a solid back row setting it all up, you might as well not care. You might as well go out and 4-putt. You can drive the green and 4-putt. You might as well, if you don't have a back row. Well, our back row, when they're playing well, it sets everything else up. It keeps us on rhythm. It gets Langseth and Clara underneath the ball, and it allows our hitters to just come up and swing away, and you're seeing that here. In the front row, we got Spencer. We got Clar. We got Petershon in the back row. We got Hebel, middle stat, and serving is Langseth. Northfield looking to respond. Langseth, the senior, a lot of experience, more experience on the varsity volleyball court than anybody else on our roster. Looking to number 12 and the rest of the seniors to carry us in this one. Set number 3, it's a close one. That one goes long, but was it touched? I think you could have argued a touch. That one looked like it went long. Yes. 20-17 now, Stewartville. After Northfield is able to get that call. Nagel to Langseth. Langseth goes middle. Big block in the middle. I believe that was Mahal. No, it was Kester. No, 7. Maddow. Jeez Louise, I'm getting them all mixed up. I'm telling you, ponytails throw me off because their hair covers up their number. Very hard to see. our side, obviously, they can wear any hairdo they want. I know which the girls look like. Here's Langseth, goes back set. Nagel's over there. She drops it. And they're saying that one's long, 20-19. So after the timeout by Coach Larson, 20-19, they've closed the gap. And that's what the Raiders want, trying to even it up at 20. Here, Mergen serving. Nagel sits down on it. Langseth goes outside to Klar. Klar drops one! Give her the old fastball sign! She is on her game tonight. Sydney Klar. You know Craig's on the edge of his seat. I can see him. He's not even touching his backrest. 21-19. Nagel, short serve, tough to handle. They're going to get it over to Dua. She's just going to set that one over. Oh, good save by Husenfeld. Back set. Here comes Klar. Klar with the hot hand. Call the fire department. Klar's got a hot hand. Smoke's coming off it. What a time to step up for the senior. She spent her time, bided her time behind some really fantastic players. She comes out here senior year, first time as a full-time starter at that right side with Ella Theobald, and she's delivering here in set number 3. Matt now sending that one long, and now Stewartville 23-19. 23-19. Now you're seeing everybody get involved. You're seeing everybody get involved. Spencer Nagel back to serve, up 4. Pennock outside to Dua. Good dig there by Middlestat. Petershon pushes the far corner. Perfect placement. They're underneath the net anyway. Petershon does it again. Stewartville 1 point away of taking a commanding 2-1 lead in set number 3. This is a big set. Set number 3 is a big set. Kester to Pennock, comes middle. Quick set, and they can't make it work. No way. No way. Stewartville takes set number 3 now. They take set number 3. And now we're 1 away. We are 1 away. These girls can taste it. They're feeling it. Everybody contributing. 25-19 Stewartville in set number 3. We're going to step aside, and we'll be back in 2.5 minutes for set number 4. We'll see if Northfield can keep their season alive or if Stewartville can close it out. I hope the trainer knows where the AED is here, because somebody's going to need it tonight. We are 1 minute away from set number 4. It was not a good start for Stewartville. It wasn't a good start for Stewartville, and it wasn't a good start for this broadcast. If you heard, Stewartville dropped the first set 25-15, came back to win set number 2 25-15, and then won that last set 25-19. They take a 2-1 lead. For this broadcast didn't start out well. The audio mixer that we've used for the past 3 years fried during the pregame show. I had to do a complete shutdown of the broadcast, had to restart it, some of you may have realized, had to switch out to a backup audio mixer, one of the best best things Dan Simmons ever taught me. It's better to have it and not need it than not to have it. I had 2 of them luckily in the bag. So we got the broadcast mixer set up. Finally got the system to recognize the new audio mixer. I came in late. Thank you so much. Big shout out to Zach Lechner supplying the water to the broadcast booth today. Really appreciate his support and the family, the Lechner family as well. But got the audio mixer. And now we're rolling. I feel like the girls were off because maybe I wasn't bringing the energy I needed. Oh, that's some high-quality H2O there delivered by Zach Lechner. Tasted so good when it touched the lips. Stewartville comes out. Set number 4, this is where we got to get it done. You don't want to go to set number 5. You want to win this in a 25-point match because momentum swings in that 5th set happen fast. And the set ends soon. You want to end it in 4. That's what Stewartville needs to be thinking now. You don't have a cushion. This one is a must-win for Stewartville. They need to do it. Just their mindset. Middle set back to serve. You got Langseth. You got Nagel in the back row. In the front, you got Husenfeld, Doobie, and Klar. Larson. They're coming to Dua, off the blocker's hands, and the Raiders take the first point of set number 4. Back to serve, Edith Larson, the older of the 2 Larsons. Millie, the younger sister, usually subs in for Dua. Nagel just tries to do anything with that serve as it dropped off the table. Here comes Dua with a big swing. They got a hand on, which slowed it down. Here comes Langseth, dumps it over. Maddow pops it up. Mergens to Dua. Back row, Nagel able to handle it. Langseth, far side to Husenfeld. Husenfeld! That time she gets it inside the line! She was so close the last 2. That time she dropped it in the line. Klar and Langseth take a seat, and the Theobald sisters come back on. And I'm telling you, later in the match seems to be when Ella Theobald hits her stride. It seems like she puts the team on her back when she knows that decisive set is coming. We saw it in set number 3 against Byron. Will we see it here again tonight? Big dig by Middlestad. Ella Theobald able to save it. Middlestad almost runs into the table as Northfield takes the 2-1 lead. Dua and Potter will take a seat. Kester and Larson will come back on. Kester, you talk about hot hands. No hand on either side of the net is hotter than Sydney Kester, the freshman for Northfield. Middlestat to Theobald, coming over to Ella from the 10-foot line. Mergens with a good dig. Larson out to Kester. That one's dropped on their side, but good job keeping it alive by the Raiders. Kester takes another swing. Nagel's going to have to bring that all the way back, and Doobie's just going to dump that one. We'll see what happens here. They're going quick to Kester down the middle. Nagel, what a save. Can they dig that off the net? They can. Clara drives it over. Mergens, Larson, Maddow. Boy, was that in rhythm for the Raiders. 3-1 Northfield. Middlestat. And it's an ace for Millie Larson. 4-1. Raiders. We'll see if Stewartville can stop the bleeding here. Husenfeld. Doobie goes over to Ella. Ella drives that one. And she says that one's long. 5-1 Northfield. I would imagine not too much longer before Sammy Peterson calls the timeout, settles the girls back down. A lot of game going to 25 points. But this is what I'm talking about. If you go to set 5 with only 15, here comes Ella. Ella getting on top of it. They're not calling a touch on that. Another point for the Raiders, 6-1. Coach Peterson letting them work through it. I'm surprised. Middlestat to Clara. Doobie. Doobie drives it through the blockers. Stops, at least controls the bleeding. Hasn't stopped it yet. We need to go on a little bit of a run. Has controlled the bleeding. 6-2 Northfield. Peeble back to serve. Hugenfeld takes a seat. Now Nagel, Theobald, and Doobie in the front row. Tough serve there. Kester. If that stays in, Oh, I was going to say, if that stays in off the Middlestat dig, that would have been impressive. Kester supplied the power. She's got to be closing in on 20 digs tonight, Kester. And the craziest thing, just a freshman. Tell me she won't be a D1 player in 3 years. You could tell me you'd be wrong, but you could tell me that. Delphine Hawkins serving. Theobald goes back set to Big Sister. She's comfortable from that right side, Ella is. Ella back home on that right side, and Clara feeds her. And now we got Petershon in the front. This is where you need to make your run if you're Stewartville. 7-3 Northfield. You need to make your run here with this front row. Nagel, Petershon, and Theobald with Doobie serving. Back row from Kester. She hits that one long. That one came off her fingertips or something. You could tell it wasn't normal. And now the Tigers are chasing 3. Kester, Larson, dumps it over. Leah's sitting right there, sitting on it. Here comes Nagel from the outside. Off the blocker, Larson to Larson. Outside to Kester again. Big block, but Mergen saves it. Kester's going to swing again. Hebel, Clara goes outside to Nagel. Nagel throws it in the corner. Kester's going to drive that one over. Doobie, Clara, back set to Big Sister. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! The sledgehammer's delivered to the Raiders. Ella took nothing off of that one. 7-5. I said we need to take our run. If we can tie it up here, that would be huge. Doobie. Larson to Larson. They've been going to Kester all night. That one's off a tip, though. Off a touch. 8-5 Northfield. Right away. Need a side out here. Navia Pennock serving. Nagel to Clara. Clara goes middle to Petershon. Just drives it over. Pennock. Mergens dumps it over. Oh, Clara, what a save. Ella's going to swing on that one. Mergens brings it up to Pennock. Comes outside to Kester. She's all in the net. She's like a fish out there in the net. 8-6. Clar and Langseth come onto the court. Tigers chasing 2. Langseth's going to be serving. Clar trying to bring that energy to the front row. Mean mugging her teammates. She's ready. No bigger competitor in Stewartville, I'll say, than Sydney Clar. Off the blockers in our front 2 just got lost in the air. 9-6 Northfield. Dua comes back on. Kester serving. Dream Petershon has to underhand that one to get it over. They're coming back set to Kester. She drives that one long. 9-7. Hebel coming out. Husenfeld coming in. Husenfeld, Clar, and Petershon now in the middle. Nagel, Middlestat, and Langseth in the back row. Langseth handling the setting duties. We run that 6-2. We are always rotating a setter on. So Langseth and Clara Theobald. They tip that one over. Middlestat right there. Langseth, where's she going? She's going back to Clar. Clar takes a little off it. Mergens is there. Here comes Dua trying to just stay out of the net. Middlestat goes right side to Clar. Clar with the swing. Gets it down. That definitely hit the ground. That definitely hit the ground. I don't know what the girl with the flag is waiting for. Marshall would have been all, he would have ran halfway on the court to say that was down. 9-8 Northfield, Nagel serving. Mergens. Oh! Mahal. Just a quick set, mistime the jumper, mistime the set, 1-2, but we're all square at 9 now. We're all square at 9 as Stewartville's able to come back. Northfield got out to that fast start, went up 5-1. Stewartville clawed their way back in, and now Nagel serving. Langseth, Husenfeld gets on top of that. Mergens back to serve for the Raiders. Potter's in. Mahal takes a seat. Middlestat, Langseth, middle. Peterson, sky's in the air. It's coming back. Klar saves it. That's actually, I was going to say, workable. Here comes Dua. Right to Husenfeld. Where's Langseth going? She's going back to Klar. Klar to Mergens. Oh, big block there in the middle, but Northfield's able to recover. Dua, another block! And under the net! That's a big point. Front row just keeps battling and battling. Middlestat back to serve, 10-10. It's a race for the first one to get to 15 points. Win by 2. Maddow rears back. And that one goes out. Stewartville takes a 1-point lead. Middlestat. Oh, this one's all out of rhythm. Langset's out. Middlestat goes right side to Klar. Klar dumps it down the line. Mergens keeps it alive. Dua's just going to drive that one over. Middlestat. Langseth. Doobie! Northfield. What a job they're doing to keep that ball off the ground. Now Langseth goes middle again. Good block there by the middle. That's Maddow. And Raiders tie it up at 11. We're starting to see a lot of what happened in set number 3, kind of that back and forth. Husenfeld to Langseth, goes back set to Klar. Big block. Middlestat somehow able to pop it up. Nagel went to outside. Husenfeld drove it over. Here comes Dua. They get a hand on it. That's always good. Just slow it down for our back row. Here comes Klar again. Klar swinging for the fences. She swung for the fences and got a home run on that one. Just like softball. Led the Tigers in home runs this year, set a school record for batting average. The best softball pitcher in southeastern Minnesota. Stats don't lie. Sidney Klar going to the bench, providing a huge spark for this Tiger volleyball team. Clara Theobald, Ella Theobald on. Larson coming middle to Maddow. Sent back by Doobie, our leader in blocks. Here comes Pennock. We get a touch. It goes on our side of the net. No, as the spin just kept rotating towards Stewartville, tied at 12. Dua and Potter take a seat. Kester and Larson on for the Raiders. Back row, Nagel, Husenfeld, and Middlestat. Middlestat. Clara's going to put it outside to big sister Ella. Big block there by Maddow. Here comes Ella again. She goes to the far corner. Kunta picked the better spot. Kunta picked the better spot. It seems like Stewartville's been taking advantage of those corners. We saw Dream Peterson do it. Sidney Klar's put a couple over there, and you saw Ella Theobald take advantage right there. 13-12 Tigers. Larson comes all the way over to Kester. Oh, what a job by Clara to pop that one up and just keep us alive. Here comes Kester again. Got a touch. Middlestat, great up. Here comes Nagel. Nagel off a touch. Kester kind of has to go back. Leah. Clara back set. Off the block, Doobie. Ella will take it on 2 hits. She says, I'll take that on 2 hits. What a job by Doobie to give her something to work with. Great job by Stewartville. 14-12 Tigers, and it's a timeout for Northfield. As every point matters here in set number 4. We said we don't want to go to set number 5. We want to finish it here in set number 4. I'm Adam Peterson. Thanks for tuning in to this Stewartville volleyball broadcast on Stewartville Activities on YouTube. Minnesota Section 1 3A Volleyball Championship. 290 of you watching, and huge crowd here for Tiger Nation representing. Sections 110 all the way through 140 are completely jam-packed. Barely a seat open, it looks like. Northfield This is ridiculous. They're trying to chant Raider Nation, but they know there's only one nation, and it's Tiger Nation. The last thing you want to do is fire up this Stewartville crowd, and by trying to call out our call name, I hope our girls take that into consideration. Hebel on to serve. Front row of Nagel, Theobald, and Doobie. These next two rotations are when we really need to start spreading it out if we can. Pennock. That one comes back. I don't know if it was a block or if it went off the top of the net. Either way, it's a Stewartville point because it landed in. 15-12. Hebel, just keep putting it in, girl. Just keep putting it in, Leah. Kester has to play that one. They come back out to Kester. That one's long. And that one's long. And now it's 16-12. Tigers using this rotation, inching closer and closer. But you got to fight. They got Kester in the front row, and that's where they want her. Doobie, Clara, outside to Nagel. Off the block. Did it go out? They're going to say, we touched it, though. I think Nagel, it was just kind of a reaction. Northfield gets the point. Mergens and Maddow come off. Hawkins and Mahal come on. And Hawkins puts it in the net. She only comes on to serve as Maddow's right back in there. Tegan Maddow. They got two of them, Keaton and Tegan. Keaton, a 5'6" freshman setter, will probably be the future of this Northfield program. Tegan, the 5'11" senior, gets one last year to play with her sister. Doobie puts it over 17-13. They push it back row. Hebel's able to handle that. Claire goes middle. Dream Peterson! Post Malone was singing about her when he said teamwork makes the dream work. Peterson in the middle, 18-13 Tigers. Doobie, Larson puts it up to Larson. It's just going to be set over Peterson to Theobald. Big swing, but good dig by Larson. Mergens goes out. Block. They're going to set it back up. They're pushing it right over. Leah Hebel can get there. She's got good feet. They're going middle to Peterson. Feed the beast! Feed the beast! Feed her! Dream Peterson. What a kill there by number 5. 19-13, Stewartville. Larson pops it up to Big Sister, comes outside to Kester, gets a block on it. Here we go, we're setting it up. Claire comes backside to Ella Theobald. Oh, a meteorologist called. He said a storm is brewing, and her name is Ella Theobald. 20-13. Timeout! Stewartville, I said they needed to go on a run there. Those two rotations, and they expanded the lead to 7. What a time to be alive in Tiger Nation right now. 2013 Stewartville. Set number 4. Thanks to all you tuning in. 295 watchers. If 5 of you can be a friend, tell a friend that we got quite the game going on here. Stewartville trying to claw back after getting hammered in the first set. Northfield won by 10. Stewartville comes back to win sets 2 and 3. It's been a battle here early on in set number 4, but those last two rotations with Theobald and Peterson in the middle, I tell you, that's our most important time to make runs. You got Doobie serving still. This is when we need to make it happen. Now it's a dogfight the rest of the way. Now it's a heavyweight fight. Everybody's felt each other out, and as my good buddy and color commentator Aaron Meyer would say, now the haymakers have started. You saw Dream Peterson with the huge hook, and then Ella Theobald comes in with an uppercut. We'll see if we can drop Northfield here in set number 4 and try to take them out. You know the Raiders are good. They're going to be going to Kester. Doobie gets it over right in the middle. Larson to Larson. Got beautiful timing here. And that one, they went to Mahal. And she stops the bleeding. 2014 Stewartville. Up by Hebel. Back set to Ella. Oh, my God! You got to fix the floor here at the Civic Center after that one. Ella Theobald. At the end of the rainbow, she is Stewartville's pot of gold. Number 2, Ella Theobald hammers it as she takes the seat. And now Langseth and Clark, come on. Pennock outside. Oh, good block there by Nagel and Peterson. We needed that. We needed that. It is like somebody just plugged an electrical cord into this crowd. Stewartville section is getting loose. 22-14. Langseth still serving. What a block by Peterson and Nagel in the front. Larson, Pennock. Out. Ooh, boy, did she put that straight down. 6'1", 6'1" Mahal uses all 73 inches plus the reach she has. 22-15. Comes the serve. Out! That's out. Good eye by Middlestat. She's seen a lot of server. Nobody's seen more serve receives than Reagan Middlestat. She knows when it's going long. Here comes Nagel back. Now we got Husenfeld, Klar, and Peterson in the front row. They're going to tip that one over. Langseth outside to Husenfeld. Good dig there by Kester. Dua keeps it alive. This one's going to be free. Middlestat, Langseth, Klar. What a dig. They're just going to have to push that one over. They were under the net, and now we're at match point. Tiger Nation, we're at match point. It's Tiger Nation. We're planting our flag at the Civic Center. Nagel on to serve. 24-15. Can they do it? Into the net. Into the net. They have 7 points to do it. If you're a math whiz, 7 points to do it. We just need one. Husenfeld, Middlestat, Nagel, serve, receive. Peterson, Langseth, Klar in the front row. Husenfeld. Jay Peterson sends us to state. Another one in the highlight reel. Another one in the win column. And another one for Stewartville Volleyball. They go back-to-back as section champions. And St. Paul, we'll see you on Wednesday. What a game! You talk about character. It's not about what you do when you're ahead. It's how do you bounce back when you've been knocked down. Northfield came out and delivered in set number 1, 25-15. Unbelievable. What does Stewartville do? 25-15, 25-19, 25-16 to end it. Are you kidding me? The job Sydney Klar did today, the way she stepped up, Dream Peterson, Matilda Doobie in that middle position, Ella Theobald bringing the hammer, Spencer Nagel, Sylvia Husenfeld in the outside. But then you heard Bernie Theobald talk about all of those front row hitters. Nothing happens without that back row. Middlestat, Hebel back there digging everything. They were fantastic in sets 2 through 4. You might have got a little nervous. Our audio board got fried in set number 1. We had to restart the broadcast. I'm taking the heat for set number 1. I'm saying that's why there wasn't enough energy in the Mayo Civic Center arena. I'm taking the blame for set number 1, but then we got the broadcast rolling, and then the girls got rolling and delivered the entertainment. Unbelievable. What a game. What a time to be alive here in Tiger Nation. They go back to back. If you tuned in to watch this broadcast, we want to say we appreciate you. It'll be the last broadcast for the Stewartville Activities YouTube in the fall. I think we broadcast about 16 or 17 events, which is already more than any year before combined that I've been doing it in the last 11 years. We went out hard. we we did a lot with the new equipment that you sponsors stepped up and got us donations for. We were able to bring our broadcast on the road here to the Civic Center, and boy, in the final broadcast of the fall season, this Stewartville volleyball team delivered in a big way, and I can't thank them enough for taking us along for this ride. I'm Adam Peterson. I'm going to pass it over to I'm going to try to keep it up so the volume up so you can hopefully hear the announcer recite all the names, and I'll keep us live and zoom in on these ladies getting their well-deserved section championship medals and trophies for the second year in a row. Thank you for tuning in to Stewartville Activities, Stewartville Volleyball on YouTube. I'm Adam Peterson, and Dan, if you're out there listening, I hope it made you proud.
Bring it in. Bring it in. Bring it in. It's just this one.
Number 2, Millie Larson. Number 3, Number 4, Stephanie Burgess. Number 5, Sydney Hester. Number 6, Madeline Dua. Number 7, Tegan Maddow. Number 8, Keaton Maddow. Number 9, Delphine Hawkins.
Did you guys have an egg? I did.
Number 10, Avery Parrish. Number 12, Kendall Kaiser. Number 14, Aubrey Iams. Number 16, Kate Potter. Managers, Bailey Parrish. And Kaya Knowles. Statistician, Anna Nickerly. Assistant coaches, Anna Knowles. And Tally Irvin Peter. And head coach, Elizabeth Larson. Would the captains please come forward and receive your second place trophy? Congratulations to Coach Elizabeth Larson and the Northfield Raiders. And now, would the members of the championship team, the Stewartville Tigers, please come forward to receive your championship medals as I call your name. Number 1, Clara Theobald. Number 2, Ella Theobald. Number 3, Leah Ebel. Number 4, Quinn Krause. Number shot. Number 6, Claire Bunny. Number 7, Spencer Nagel. Number 8, Olivia Hamilton. Number 9, Matilda Judy. Number 11, Cindy Clark. Number 12, Abigail Mason. Number 15, Sylvia Husikmel. Number 16, Ella Minnick. Number 17, Reagan Middlestan. Number 18, Bristol Schmidt. Number 20, Brooklyn Peterson. Number 23, Cora Johnson. Manager, Sammy Cross. Manager, Audrey Schindelar. Assistant coach, Becca Stang. Assistant coach, Jamie Meyer. And head coach, Sammy Peterson. And now, captains, please come forward and receive your championship trophy.